Hi, I'm Lynn Rempel, a registered nurse, a nursing professor, and a breastfeeding researcher.
And I'm John Rempel, a social psychologist who studies close relationships and an involved father and grandfather.
And
And
we
we
are
are
a
a
parenting
parenting
team.
team. We are also a research team that has studied the role of fathers in the breastfeeding family. We have been asked how a father's involvement in childcare can enable breastfeeding and gender equality.
Most fathers want to develop a positive relationship with their infant, but they do not have the same opportunities to bond as breastfeeding mothers do. Some studies have suggested that this can sometimes lead to fathers feeling sidelined and unimportant and cause families to choose formula feeding or combined feeding so that fathers can feed the baby.
However, our research has shown that fathers can develop a strong bond with their infants without needing to feed them. When fathers are encouraged to give responsive, loving care to their infants right from birth in ways that don't involve feeding, exclusive breastfeeding increases. The key is to get involved with your baby and spend time together.
When a father is physically close to his baby, particularly skin to skin, it triggers hormonal changes that promote attachment. Similar to mothers, oxytocin and prolactin levels increase and testosterone decreases. These hormonal changes change the father's neurobiology, affecting his care for children for the rest of his life. There are many ways that fathers can get involved and to meet their baby's needs: changing diapers, carrying, cuddling, playing, bathing, comforting. These can all lead to the biological changes that result in closer attachment. Infants also develop more quickly when fathers are involved, and children of involved fathers do better cognitively and socially as they grow, especially if their fathers feel competent as parents.
The best way for fathers to be involved is through gender-equitable parenting, in which fathers and mothers work together as equal partners on the parenting team. Teen parenting improves the relationship between mothers and fathers, and children thrive when their parents have a positive relationship with each other. Teen parenting can reduce the mother's stress and provide a positive environment in which she can breastfeed successfully. It removes the requirement for a mother to do everything for her infant and lets her focus on the breastfeeding relationship. Sharing roles in the family helps to model gender equality. It can also strengthen the role of girls in the family right from birth. Our research in Vietnam showed that, in a context where male children are often preferred, fathers who were taught to be more involved in infant care formed a strong, if not stronger, attachment to their daughters as they did to their sons.
Fathers have told us that their role as a father of an infant includes being a member of the breastfeeding team. Research has shown that when fathers support breastfeeding in a way that is sensitive to what the mother wants and needs, mothers have a more positive breastfeeding outcome. How can partners do this? According to Jennifer Bastick and Cindy Lee Dennis, parents need to set breastfeeding goals together as a family, share responsibility for breastfeeding, support each other in breastfeeding and parenting, and communicate well and solve problems together.
Lynn and I have found that it is especially important for fathers to be responsive, to pay attention to how and how much the mother wants him to participate in breastfeeding. Think about a high-level two-person sports team, such as beach volleyball or doubles badminton. With only two players, team members need to coordinate what they are doing by constantly observing, communicating, and adjusting. And they need to trust each other, staying out of the way when the partner does not need help, and being ready to step in and assist if necessary. It is the same with breastfeeding. Partners need to agree on the end game, such as goals of exclusively breastfeeding their infant for 6 months and continued breastfeeding if the mother returns to paid work. Partners need to communicate regularly and well about what each of them can do to meet their goals, especially if they are dealing with breastfeeding challenges.
Partners can support breastfeeding in many ways. As a partner, you can learn about breastfeeding by taking prenatal or postpartum classes if they are available, by reading, by going to good internet sites like the WABA site, and by asking health professionals like midwives and nurses. Give emotional encouragement if the mother needs it, and let her know you appreciate that she is breastfeeding and what it does for your baby. Support might just be sitting together and enjoying time as a family, or it might be practical, like doing things to make mother's environment more comfortable for breastfeeding. Support will probably involve sharing tasks around the house, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, or whatever needs to be done. In families with more than one child, it can be especially helpful for fathers to share in the care of older children. However, no matter what, if you are working together as a team, effective support will fit with what the mother wants and needs without undermining her sense of competence and personal control. Together, partners should figure out what is the best sharing of roles for them in their unique situation.
So, given this information, how can health and social services involve fathers or other partners in supporting breastfeeding?
Well, first, we need to foster positive attitudes about father involvement generally, and about their involvement in the warm chain of support for breastfeeding. We still often think about fathers who provide direct care for infants as just babysitters. Health and social services often ignore or exclude fathers, even when fathers come with the mother to appointments. When fathers are working together with mothers as a team, we need to treat them as equal team members. We need to make them feel welcome and needed. We need to consciously and deliberately talk to fathers about pregnancy, childbirth, baby care, and breastfeeding support. We need to invite fathers to cuddle their babies as soon after birth and find their own ways to bond with their babies. We need to encourage them to be present and, when appropriate, to participate when we're helping mothers learn to breastfeed. We need to care for mothers and fathers. A final question is, what can decision makers, advocates, and parents do to promote gender-equitable values and norms?
Well, one important action is to promote strong maternal and paternal leave policies. Mothers need sufficient leave to ensure that they can effectively care for their infant and provide the important benefits of exclusive and continued breastfeeding without being economically and professionally disadvantaged by a gap in employment. Fathers need parental leave so that they have time with their partner and infant to develop the relationships and patterns at home that result in gender-equitable parenting. We need to spread the message in our communities, on social media, and with our government and policy decision makers that positive, caring father involvement is invaluable for the future of our children and our society.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please check the WABA World Breastfeeding website for more information about the importance of gender-equitable parenting.